Are we live? Yeah, we are live. Start us off.
Hello. We're the Marshalls.
Oh,
I'm Vicky.
I'm Bill. You already knew that, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully the audio's working well. I can't really see our levels or anything right now, but thank you guys for watching. There's a couple people in here, which is new for us. We don't really ever get people who pay attention to us live. They mostly watch it after the fact.
Yeah, we don't plan ahead very well.
We don't. We're just like, we haven't made a video in a while. What's a good way to knock a bunch of things out at once? It's like, well, live video. Fuck it. And don't mind me if I'm pulling this thing out at any time. It's like my cheat sheet to remember to talk about certain things, because I'm pretty brain dead when it's like comes time to just like talk about a certain topic. I'll be like, oh yeah, we meant to talk about John Wick 4. But the main reason we're here today is to talk about the movie Renfield, which just came out on Peacock. We didn't go to see it in the theater for whatever reason.
It wasn't getting very many good reviews from people we watch on here. And as you guys know from our previous videos, I am not the biggest fan of going to the movies. So when he is not down, I am relieved. I am not the biggest Nick Cage fan, although every Nick Cage movie Bill has me watch, I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, I was just relieved to not have to go to the theaters.
I saw the trailer and thought it looked like a goofy, fun time. Dude, it's Nick Cage playing Dracula. It doesn't really get much more ridiculous than that. I mean, he's essentially playing, a goofy, over-the-top, wild Nick Cage character in Dracula makeup. It's perfect. And, all the people that were like, oh my God, this movie is terrible. This movie is awful. Don't waste your time. It's like, did you watch the same trailer that I did? Because it's exactly as the trailer promised.
Yeah, I don't watch trailers the way Bill does, as most of you will know. And I took it as being a goofy horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It's horror comedy. Yeah. And I took it as such, and I went in not expecting to be thrilled. And I can't say I'm thrilled, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah. I was laughing throughout.
Yeah, the whole entire time.
The whole time.
I was really looking forward to watching it this morning. So, we had to go do, a couple food shopping stops. And, I had to call my family. I always call my family on Sundays. But I was just like, oh, my God, I can't wait to press play on Renfield. And it delivered exactly as promised by the trailer. It is goofy, over the top, really absurdly lit. The colors, very red, orange, deep blues in certain scenes. And it's super, super gory. Mostly perpetrated by Renfield. Because he's Dracula's servant, Dracula kind of enacted sort of powers to him to be able to go get people off the street to feed Dracula. So he gives them this case of bugs, and whenever he eats bugs, he's powered up and can superhumanly chop people's heads off and shit, which is insane to see on the screen. He cuts people's arms off with a serving tray. He kills a whole fleet of army men in an apartment complex, and just leaves a huge pile of them. But I don't know, it's just insane. What would you say plot wise Renfield is? A quick plot crunch, if you had to describe it quickly.
Something that actually made me laugh really hard, and I could see how it probably pissed a lot of people off, is them really pushing it out there, the stronghold of therapy and support groups in today's society. I don't want to give anything away in case anyone isn't aware of it.
Oh, God. If anyone that clicked this sees that it's a Renfield review, so just give a plot crunch.
Renfield, the man himself, is a servant to Dracula. He wants out. He wants to get his life together and live on his own, and joins his support group. My favorite movie of all time is Fight Club. My joyous laughter at the support group idea. It all ties in so well. I can't. I'm gonna.
You can't do this?
I want to talk about it in depth.
You can.
No, I don't. I don't want to.
All right. So, like she was saying, Renfield is Dracula's servant. He was a lawyer back in, I would assume, is like the 1600s, given the garb that he was wearing when they do like the flashback in the beginning. And he sees delusions of grandeur, and Dracula's like, well, you know, I can help you out with that. Like, you become my assistant and you live life eternal. All you have to do is take care of me, keep me out of sunlight, feed me, make sure we're living well. So the plot of the movie, after you learn this, is Renfield is sick and tired of Dracula's bullshit. He wants to live on his own. He is going to what would you even call that? Like a therapy session?
A support group.
A support group of people dealing with like narcissistic, abusive partners that have taken over their lives.
Domestic, codependency.
Yeah. Like, so he's just in there talking about, oh, my boss is this, my boss is that. And what they obviously don't know is that his boss is fucking Dracula, which is hilarious in and of itself. So with all this going on, Renfield is going to get Dracula some bodies, and he's been hunting people who are harming the people in the support group. So he's like taking those abusive people from their lives and feeding them to Dracula, thus bettering that person's life.
Yeah.
So he stumbles upon this one guy who is addicted to ska music, which is like hilarious because I thought ska was dead. I think somebody says in the movie.
They say it multiple times.
Yeah. And little does he know is that they just stole a bunch of cocaine from this like pseudo mob family called the Lobos. And that starts a whole thing. The Lobos start looking for Renfield, and they accidentally find Dracula, and it just starts a whole tumbleweed of just problems. Like Renfield finally gets away from Dracula, and then the Lobo's son finds Dracula's lair, and he's like, oh, well, Renfield don't want nothing to do with you. He's got his own apartment. Like, we just want to find him and kill him. And Dracula goes there and has a whole monologue, like all like, oh, Renfield, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. It just becomes a whole thing of Dracula then starts killing all the people that matter to Renfield, and Renfield is just super upset. The cops are all working with the Lobos. It all kind of ties together. But yeah, the movie's great. It's just funny and goofy. It's exactly what you wanted from a movie about Nick Cage's Dracula.
Yeah, it blew my mind. It really did. I really enjoyed it. I didn't expect to. And Bill knows how much I love when that happens because it's rare.
Yeah. And also the score is done by Marco Beltrami, which I just found out when I was like, I write these like stupid reviews on Instagram. I think barely anybody even reads them. Every now and then I'll get people be like, oh, hell yeah. But in searching through it, I was like, damn, Marco Beltrami did that? Pretty cool. But yeah, the violence is like very CGI'd, but because of the manner of violence they were trying to portray in it almost like had to be. Like I was saying earlier, Renfield at one point like kills an entire group of like soldiers coming after him and a cop that's helping him. Dracula, when he goes and finds Renfield's support group and slaughters all them, it's just wild. It's almost like, obviously John Wick has like a big stronghold on like the action ultra violence genre these days, and it's got like some John Wicky action sequences in it, which it works to its favor, I guess. I think the main drawback for me before seeing Renfield was the Nicholas Hoult guy who plays Renfield. Did you ever see Warm Bodies growing up?
You referenced it, and I was like, I don't know if I've seen that.
I didn't think. I remember you saying, like, I don't think I ever saw that. It's like about Nicholas Hoult plays like a zombie who like falls in love with a human.
I'm also trying to remember if you've shown me that.
I don't think we've ever. I haven't watched this in like at least.
No, then I haven't.
10 years.
That explains why it sounded so unfamiliar to me. As a lot of you know already, my memory is trash. So when months go by, even let alone years, if Bill has shown me a movie, it's out of my head. I'm that meme with Dennis and Mac and cheese is what my brain tosses away.
Well, in Warm Bodies, he plays like a zombie who falls in love with a human being, and it definitely wasn't made for me because I grew up watching like Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and like I want my zombies to be mean and eat people, not fall in love with humans. So it was just like that movie to me. And it also came out around the time Twilight was sort of still popular. So I kind of like lumped it into the same fucking sort of genre. And like, I haven't revisited it, but it's like, dude, you could take your Twilight zombie love story. I'm good.
Based on your description just now of Warm Bodies,
yeah,
it is probably the exact reason why a lot of people didn't like Renfield. But they wanted a Dracula movie.
Yeah, you know what? I guess. Because I guess like in seeing the Warm Bodies trailer back in the day, I probably was like, oh, it's like a zombie comedy, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it was way more love story, but it definitely was portrayed in the trailer as such. And I just was like too obsessed with horror movies and had to see everything. But that was one of my trepidations with this. I was like, this dude is playing like a comedic vampire helper. I'm like, not again, not again. But anyway, Renfield. I suggest checking it out. And at the very least, like just watch the trailer. And in my opinion, if you watch the trailer and you're like, oh my God, that looks like a good time, or it's like, oh, I would watch that. Chances are you're probably going to like it because the trailer puts out the vibe and tone exactly of what the movie was, which is like, I don't understand why people didn't like it mainly for that reason. Like it's like I knew what I was getting. A goofy, fucking over-exaggerated Nicolas Cage's Dracula movie. And I got that.
Yeah. And I don't typically like horror comedy. I know you are on the fence about it as well.
Yeah.
We have differing opinions of it, but for the most part, we don't like a lot of the same ones that a lot of people do.
Okay, well, we're live right now. Name a couple that you really like.
That I really like?
Yeah.
That's tough. Renfield's up there at this point.
Already?
Yeah,
shit.
I don't like that many. It's not an easy subgenre for me. But like, for instance, something that I thought I would like and I tried, What We Do in the Shadows. Everyone loves it. I don't get it. It's not for me. I watched most of the first season and was bored.
Forgive my ignorance. I never watched it, but is it like a period piece?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's from the guys who made Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah. I've seen like countless like videos.
People love it. I know when it's coming back without fail because the internet lets me know. But things like that, for instance, like I watched the movie Sorry About the Demon, and I will, when I'm home alone, will just click on to whatever and watch it. I don't care. I don't read into things the way he does, as you know already. I really enjoyed Sorry About the Demon. And it's about a guy who gets a really great deal on a house. He's newly single, has to move out, moves into this house. And the reason he's getting this great deal is that it's fucking possessed.
Did I watch that?
No, I watched it one day when I was off when you were at work.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed it. You should check it out. I'll watch it again.
Yeah, we only live together.
Yeah. But I'll watch movies randomly when he's not home.
But any like classics? Like for me, like, all right, I like, let's see, Shaun of the Dead. I'd say
I
it's
was
like
going
a
to
modern
say that,
classic.
but I didn't know if you counted that as such.
Yeah.
Because it's like, in my opinion, almost a perfect movie. But
okay. But yeah, stuff like that. I don't even know. Like just looking around, like our movies are everywhere. So if like I'm looking around, it's just like kind of to give me like some kind of idea of like something. All right, Jennifer's Body. Sort of, right?
I put that along with Shaun of the Dead. But anyway, moving along.
No. I also like just bought a Blu-ray copy of Jennifer's Body. I've had it on DVD forever. But lately, like Vicky and I have been finding mostly me. Who am I kidding?
I'm at work when he finds it.
Yeah, when she's at work on Saturdays, I like make trips to like DVD stores and shit just to like see like, oh, what's cheap, what's going on. But upgraded Jennifer's Body. But to me, that's a great example of like a horror comedy kind of done right.
Yeah,
at least modern.
I guess once again, I don't typically like horror comedies, so I don't think of it as a comedy because of how much I enjoyed that and Shaun of the Dead.
I'm trying to think of what else because this is a good topic.
I
Like
think we'll need more.
Gremlins 2? I wouldn't know. I don't know. It's more sci-fi.
I
family.
barely consider Gremlins horror. So
True. Yeah.
that-
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
you've seen that more times than I have, so I can't
Mm,
remember memory mac and cheese
Yeah.
out the window.
okay. All right. But anyway, Renfield, I suggest checking it out.
Yeah.
Don't listen to all the reviews because I did, and it was kind of the reason why I wasn't pushing to go see it in the theater. And I'm a little upset I didn't because I enjoyed every second of it. The CGI was a little much, and the like Nicholas Hoult did a good job, and I had a big kind of like trepidation with him. The thing we were talking about when it was happening, we were like, we do this thing when we watch new movies where we try to like almost predict like what's coming later on. I don't know if it's so much as it's a thing we do regularly, but like I'll like look over to her and be like, oh, that guy's gonna be
Such and such is going to happen.
Yeah.
This is what's going to happen. And without fail, even if you're right, you're still pissed.
yeah.
Because why did I guess that?
Yeah, but with this one, we were guessing the crime family is called the Lobos.
So that's a giveaway.
And they're
What
like
do you
their
think?
family like crest is like a fucking wolf, and it's shown so much. They have wolf statues outside like their bad guy fucking hideout and shit like that. So this whole time I'm like, there's gonna be a huge reveal at the end that when Dracula comes and like starts teaming up with the bad guys, it's gonna be like a Wolfman type storyline that's gonna come into play. But nothing ever comes of it, and they really push the wolf shit heavy, and there's literally nothing.
Yeah.
But
And I have no guesses as to what could have happened. And realistically, by the time we're done with this, I'm going to forget to Google. I'll remember in 3 days' time at 6 a.m.
yeah, well,
and hit the Google
After-
and text him while he's at work.
they're like,
Like,
well,
"Hey,
we had a planned sequel where Dracula and like the Wolfman are hanging out, but that never came into fruition.
I don't ever hope for a sequel, by the way. Throwing
No,
that out
no.
there.
But I think this was great. I'm kind of upset it didn't do well at the. Actually, it doesn't really bother me that it didn't do too well at the theater because as a standalone movie, it's pretty good. I hope they like can recoup their whatever losses they had like through like DVD sales or people like renting it and shit like that because it's a good time. And lately, Nicolas Cage has kind of gotten the ball rolling again since like he kind of fell off for a while there.
Yeah, I'm starting to become a fan. So the likelihood of him doing a lot coming up is really low because if I like things, it disappears.
Well, what's funny is like with you, like you saying, you're like, oh yeah, I wasn't a big Nicolas Cage fan. I cannot tell you how many times I've like put on like Face Off or like Con Air and been like, babe, don't worry, like this movie fucking rips.
He says that about almost every action movie, and it's
Yeah, I am
50-50
such an
chance.
action stan. It kind of
It's a
annoying.
50-50 chance that I'm going to really enjoy it or be whatever about it.
But now looking at like his filmography, he's got some fucking gems.
Yeah, I'm still not going to watch Con Air when we finish this.
No, I wouldn't want to watch that right now anyway. But
Just saying.
But like lately, he what was it? He did Mandy, which was okay. More of like a mind fuck movie and like visual.
I think it
stimulation
was more
than
for
anything.
shock value.
Yeah, but that was good. Color Out of Space, same deal. More of like a visual stimuli movie, but it's still really good. And Pig, we loved Pig.
Loved Pig.
And that was like him like flexing his acting chops to a degree. Granted, it's like a guy searching for his fucking pet
Truffle
pig that
Pig.
finds
Not Pet Pig, Truffle Pig.
Truffle Pig who
That was
hunts
his
truffles.
means
That
of-
was great.
Of money in existence.
Yeah, Pig was excellent.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
definitely recommend seeing Pig too. But don't go in there thinking you're getting like your normal prototypical Nick Cage because it's not. It's just him
No.
being a pretty good actor.
He's a sad hermit, and
Yeah, who lives in the woods with a pet pig.
I'm here for it.
Here we are talking about Renfield, and we start talking about a fucking truffle pig movie.
Well, with Nick Cage's vast history,
Yeah,
it can
I'm still
only
waiting
bounce
for
around.
Face Off too, honestly,
I swear to God.
which I heard is actually happening.
But not to backtrack, I just want to get it out there. I didn't see anything negative about that movie. Sorry about the demon I was just talking about a few minutes ago. I just don't see anyone talking about it. So if you have Shudder, check it out. It's not that, I think it's like an hour and a half because that's like the average length I can sit through. And I enjoyed it. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, we're not like endorsed by anything or anything like that. But Shudder is amazing. I feel like a lot of the movies we talk about, people are kind of like, what the fuck is that? You can find almost like a whole shit ton of like classic horror movies and just like thriller movies on Shudder. And it's only like what, like $5? $5
It could have gone up and I haven't noticed.
They add new stuff every week. There's great documentaries on there. And for us, like it almost kind of isn't worth it because we own all the classics like on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, fucking VHS. So like we have means of watching it already, but like if you don't own movies or like you're a digital person, like it's great to check out classics you might not have ever seen.
Yeah.
But
you want to get to your purchases?
Sure.
Some at least.
Here's just like a nice stack of bullshit that I've bought recently because why not?
Like you said, on Saturdays when I'm typically at work, he'll do some of the food shopping and then he'll hit our local Best Buy without me, luckily, because it's too much for my brain.
Yeah, so I've just been like I haven't really been buying too much new stuff. I just kind of like buy stuff when it's like cheap or on sale. Just, I don't know. There's certain classics that I've never had, or like I have like a crappy old version. So like I want to have the best version I possibly could. But I don't know if this is like still available at your Best Buys, but Caddyshack was 99 cents. I was like in shock to see anything priced 99 cents in this day and age. And I only owned Caddyshack on tape. So I was like, dude, 99 cents. I don't know. I'm definitely like one of those suckers who got at like the impulse buy section. So when I saw like the sale pile at Best Buy, I was like, have to buy this.
Your Caddyshack tape, by the way, is still wrapped.
Yeah. Another one along the same lines. The Waterboy, I think, was like $3. Like, how do you... I don't know, old Adam Sandler movies. Our generation, it's kind of what we grew up on comedy-wise. Never owned The Waterboy, and this was only $3.
I was tortured by kids in school when my name started popping up more in movies and TV shows. Vicky Valancourt.
Vicky Valancourt is his love interest in The Waterboy, that's right. But a classic, and $3. I don't know how long this sale is going on for.
It also just could have been our local Best Buy finding stuff and back or getting a box shipment.
That's
like,
true.
Here, get rid of it.
Yeah, like here's a bunch of excess crap we have. And then along the same lines, Happy Gilmore. Probably his best, this and Billy Madison. But $3, dude. I had to buy it. And another movie that was a favorite of mine growing up, The fucking Sandlot, dude.
You're killing Smalls.
I'm probably killing the audience right now with this nonsense. But Sandlot, man. If it's on sale, I didn't own it. I love The Sandlot. Our generation. I don't know. Movies you grow up on, you know? You get nostalgic for this kind of stuff. And also, finally on sale this week was Pearl. The prequel to X. I didn't really like this as much as I liked X. I don't think you did either.
No, it's not my favorite. That's why I'm quiet.
Yeah. When X came out, Vicky didn't really like X too much either. But after I like bought it and we rewatched it, she kind of found like
I like it more and more with each rewatch.
Yeah. So we were like excited to go see Pearl. At least I was.
No, I was too. Which, as I've said before, it's a bad sign when I'm excited going into a movie.
Yeah, you almost don't want to get your expectations too high these days going to a movie because mostly everything new it's fine. Nothing knocks my socks off anymore.
No.
It's kind of sad.
And Pearl didn't for me either.
Yeah, the fact that Renfield like kind of like almost exceeded my expectations a little bit was a good thing and kind of rare.
No, but also if you made me do the trek through Jersey City to the theater to see Renfield, I may not have liked it.
Yeah, you're like, you know what, that wasn't worth my time. But Pearl, I like Pearl. It was fine, but it was fine. It's like it's weird. It's kind of like super Technicolor, Wizard of the Oz like horror
Wizard of the Oz.
Wizard of Oz, like Technicolor Dreamcoat fucking style origin story of Old Lady Pearl, who was the sort of killer in X. And yeah, happy to own it because it was finally half price.
I'm hopeful on a rewatch that I get why everyone's so obsessed with it, because I feel like it blew up.
Yeah, more people were talking about Pearl than X.
Yeah, which blew my mind.
X was amazing. Yeah. I liked X the moment we saw it in the theater. Like it was like almost like felt like Ty West's like love letter to Tobe Hooper, you know, Eaten Alive and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just like with like a longer drawn out intro. But like, I don't know. All his movies kind of have that. House of the Devil, The Sacrament, which we watched a long fucking time ago.
I don't remember it at all. You lost me on that one.
All right, well, let me rifle through the rest of these two, because talking about like DVDs I buy just feels super dumb.
Well, you also, so fair warning, granted, it's been almost a month since our last video, but Bill has bought a lot.
Yeah, it seems like I'm spending a lot of money, and I can assure you
he's not. He's getting very lucky.
I only buy stuff when it's like cheap. I am like very stingy.
And I'm a waitress and people ain't tipping right now. So this is mostly him, and they're mostly on sale. And he got very lucky with this next one.
Yeah. This is like, this one kind of has like a funny story. So like I had a $5 coupon to Best Buy because I'm a frequent shopper there. I mean, this microphone, the camera that's filming this right now, like I got it at Best Buy. Like I buy all my cheap, shitty movies at Best Buy. But I never owned The Last Starfighter. Nick Castle, who is the original Michael Myers movie, starring Lance Guest, which some of you might remember from Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2. He's the EMT who's like buying Laurie like a Coke or a Pepsi or whatever the hell. But yeah, this movie's like kind of corny, almost like a Star Wars ripoff, but it's a fun, goofy, very early 80s, and it shows time. But anyway, had the $5 coupon, and I was like, I'm going to treat myself this week. I've always wanted this movie. It's always been like a nostalgic kind of video game, space, Star Wars-y movie for me. And I saw it was like almost $30, and I was like, you know what? Treating myself, haven't spent a lot of money on movies. I'm going to get it. So I bring it up to the counter, and he's like, oh, it's not scanning. And I'm like, oh, shit. This usually means like, you know, you got to stand there for 10 minutes while the guy walks around the store, like trying to find a price. But I kept my mouth shut. I saw the price tag. It said like $29.95 or something. And I was like, whatever. That's what I plan to pay. He scans it, and it says $5.99. And I'm like, oh, shit. And then I realized I have the $5 coupon. And I'm just like, oh, let's scan this. So I got like a $30 movie for 99 cents on like the fuck up of a Best Buy employee. And if you're watching this, Best Buy employee, I'm sorry if you got in trouble for that. But like, bruh, I'm taking advantage of everything I can get. So yet again, another cheap find at Best Buy. And check this movie out if you're a Star Wars fan. It's like a C-grade Star Wars movie.
I was on my phone the whole time he watched it.
Yeah, she did not dig this. Like, I don't think at all. I love fucking Lance Guest, though.
I love Star Wars, don't get me wrong. But the vibes.
Too cheesy for you. Yeah. I can tell right away. And for real. It's almost like watching a painting of shit. Like the old special effects are bad. And that's a 4K, so you can really tell that they're bad. But still a great time. And these next two, these are movies I've seen in the past, and I've owned this one, but there was a special edition of it that came out, and I love this movie, and it was going out of print from the company that made it, so I was like, I have to buy this because I'll regret it. But California. David Duchovny, Juliette Lewis, Brad Pitt. If you haven't seen this, it's incredible. This is one of those movies I saw when I was like really young on like a Cinemax or HBO, like super late at night. And I'd never heard of it. And I was like, what was that? But the premise of the story of this movie is like David Duchovny is like a struggling writer, but he's writing this story about serial killers in America. So him and his artist wife are planning a trip to California so he can write his book, and she could photograph and film all these locations where serial murders took place. but they have no money. So they put like signage up and stuff for people who want to tag along on the road trip. Like you just have to pay your way. So it's kind of like their way of like helping pay for gas, helping pay for hotel rooms. And Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis are the people that offer this up. But little does David Duchovny know that Brad Pitt is a fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
Tagging along, killing people along the way. And it's just amazing. And it's almost like a nice time capsule of the 90s. Like seeing Brad Pitt talk like this. He's like, I want to howl at the moon, goddammit. Oh! Like, this shit is amazing. It's very dark. And if you like true crime stuff, even though this isn't true, it's very...
It's reminiscent of that vibe, that feeling.
Yeah.
Like similar to Seven.
Yeah.
In the filth form.
Yeah. It's got some disturbing moments and stuff like that. And I think the first time I ever showed this to Vicky, it like fucked her up bad.
You showed it to me, but it's a long one for me.
Hmm.
So I've only seen it all the way through one time.
Really? And we haven't watched this version
since
yet. Maybe later
you just
today.
got it like a week ago.
True.
We slept on the couch to change things up. Our couch is a futon.
What was this, 8 years ago?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I woke up early the next morning and just turned on California on one of our streaming apps and watched it all the way through for the first time. And I remember saying to him, I feel disgusting.
Yeah, it's got a grimy feel. A lot of it takes place in the desert. You almost like feel the heat.
I haven't watched it since that either.
Oh, I love that movie so much.
It's great, don't get me wrong, but for me to be that deeply affected by it, and
yeah, it's hard for movies to do that to you and I these days.
Yeah.
So when a movie does that, even if the movie's bad, it's almost like, yo, I kind of fuck with this movie. And the other one is a newer movie, The Rental. This is one, randomly enough, I was like perusing, like doing like my daily like Facebook look through and reminding myself of like, God, Facebook is all ads. But there was an ad for this movie. And I was like, Jeremy Allen White from Shameless and Dan Stevens in a horror movie that I've never heard of? That's awesome. And I watched it on Netflix and it was great. It's directed by James Franco's brother, Dave Franco, which is crazy. But from everything I've read about this, like review wise of like horror movie fans or just like movie fans in general, is that people didn't like it. I disagree.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
Yeah, we just rewatched it.
Yeah, it's
because I really liked it and wanted to see if I still liked it.
And I really liked it the first time we watched it too.
It's very open-ended. It's like two brothers and their girlfriends go on like a trip together to an Airbnb, and all this weird shit starts happening, and turns out the one older brother is fucking his younger brother's girlfriend.
Well, it just happens.
Yeah.
They work together.
Yeah. And it's just gross and weird. It's like you almost like hate all these people, but little do they know there's like a guy who's filming them in like a weird bald cap that is very reminiscent of Drive, when Ryan Gosling has that like stuntman mask that he puts on. But you never find out who the killer is. It's very ambiguous. And spoiler alert, it doesn't matter because this movie's great anyway. But the way that he kills all these people is insane. Like, I love Shameless. I love Jeremy Allen White so much. I really liked The Bear on FX, like that new show he's in. Like, I feel for him. And in this movie, you see him get the back end of a hammer in the skull, and he just dies, like, right away. As soon as he finds out his girlfriend's cheating on him with his brother, he just dies. Like, he has no...
He doesn't even... I mean, I guess...
He has no arc after that. He's just dead.
I guess it's good. He didn't have to, like, deal with...
He didn't have to live with that.
Yeah.
But...
The irony.
Highly recommend. Another one of those cases where, like, don't listen to the reviews, man. Even people, when I posted a review about this movie on, like, my Instagram, people were like, I didn't like it, man. Didn't like it. I'm like, that's fair. I like the open-endedness of it.
Yeah,
same. Like, a lot. And I think that's another thing of, what makes some things scary. It works in some cases, not all. But, like, why the original Halloween is scary, It's like, you don't know Michael Myers was related to Laurie Strode, at least in the original timeline. You don't know why he's killing these people. He's just a monster that is killing people.
Yeah, not everything always happens for a reason.
And in this
Sometimes
case, yeah,
shit just flies.
I guess the only complaint I would have about this is like they kind of like lay the groundwork for certain things that never come to fruition. But it doesn't matter because they all die.
Again, I don't want a sequel.
Yeah, no, and I don't think you will anyway. What else? Oh,
next up is my only contribution.
Yeah, Vicky's only contribution was I finally got her to start watching some of the Rocky movies.
And this shirt wasn't intended. I just grabbed it.
Yeah, I know all these movies just came out on 4K and all that, but and I know they're classics. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate everything they've done. They just never. I don't know. I'm not like a super fan of Rocky, so like I didn't need to pick up like an $80 4K version of the Rocky movies. But she's super into them, and she hasn't seen all of them. Yeah. And this Blu-ray set was like $20.
I've seen the first 4
so
far, and I've just
been
watching
all the original movies.
I've seen the first 4 over the span of like probably a year or two now.
Yeah, we haven't like
when I
them back
feel
to
like
back.
it, and I really want to see the Creed movies. There's quite a few actors from The Wire, my favorite show, in it. And I really, in them, I should say, and I really want to see them. But I was like, well, I'm not watching them until I see all the Rockies.
Bless her soul. She is very like a completionist in that way.
Yeah,
it's like
it's exhausting and expensive.
We randomly will watch like a random ass TV show, and she's like, no, we have to watch it from episode 1, which I am the opposite. It's like, if I want to watch this episode of the X-Files, I will just watch that episode. She's like, no, we have to watch it all the way through. But yeah, with Rocky, I don't know, they're classics. Happy to own them, especially like for so cheap. And for her to be able to watch them on like a Blu-ray is super cool.
And I will, one of these days, I'll feel the need to watch.
You're almost done with them. You're all the way up to 4.
Yeah.
The other 2 aren't that good anyway. I hate to break it to you.
It's fine.
What
but I'm excited, and that was when I picked up on a random trip where I was able to go to Best Buy with him.
The rare
I saw it, and I was like, yeah.
That Vicky buys movies.
Yeah, very rare.
Yeah, the only time you buy movies is probably like for me, for like my birthday or something.
No, and when they're on sale or it's something I just have never owned. I never owned Rocky because I've only just begun.
But yeah. Another one kind of random. I saw a lot of people talking about the Psycho sequels, and I have only seen Psycho 1, 2, and 3. I never saw part 4, and I realized I was like, I don't think I even own any of the sequels to Psycho. Like, I have this huge Alfred Hitchcock set that's got like, the Burbs. The Burbs.
You did it.
Yeah. The Birds, Vertigo, Rear Window, and the original Psycho in it. But I never had the sequels, but I remember liking them when I was a kid. And, in Scream 6, like, they have that whole monologue about Psycho 2 is better than the original, blah, blah, blah. So I just bought this cheap set of all 4 movies. Again, I don't think this was more than $20 either. But we haven't watched all of these yet, but we rewatched Psycho 2 for the first time in a long time. What a great sequel. Like, it's... if there was a way to convey how sequels should be, I think that did it pretty well. And then to find out it was... written by Tom Holland, who, wrote and directed like Fright Night and like Child's Play and all that. Like, it only makes sense. I remember really liking Psycho 3, which is like it's almost like Anthony Perkins slasher movie, but we haven't rewatched it yet. And I've never seen Psycho 4, directed by Mick Garris. So eventually we'll get there.
Well, I've seen them all. Before I met Bill, I don't remember a lot.
But naturally. Yeah, got that. And the last thing I've purchased, Vicky hates this one. The original Hills Have Eyes 2, like super limited edition from Arrow, where it comes with like the movie, a giant poster, a giant booklet. This movie is awful. Like, it is terrible. But it's like, it just carries on the storyline of The Hills Have Eyes, but like brutally bad. But to me, it's got like a comedic value to it that I just always love. And I love these like hard boxes and stuff like that. And I'll always remember there's like a team or duo or something of German Shepherds in this. And there's a scene where the German Shepherd has a flashback and we get to watch it. I think a couple people from the Friday the 13th movies are in this too. I haven't rewatched it since I got in this yet, but it's just terrible, goofy. Vicky will hate it. Although you like the original.
Yeah, of course, but I've seen part 2. It's
not this one.
What is this, uncut?
Maybe you haven't. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of
The
movies
OG?
that we don't talk about them because why
would you talk about Hills Have Eyes 2? Fair. And that's it. Anyway, Hills Have Eyes 2. Just good fun, honestly. It's so bad, it's good almost. All right. Where you want to go from here, my love?
I don't know. We can talk TV. I've gotten Bill to watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, go ahead. Take it from here. You talk about some TV shit we've watched.
Dave season 3 put me to sleep. Bupkis, same. I didn't enjoy it that much. I think I'm also just
you're glossing over too much.
Yeah, I don't. Well, you know me. My reviews of movies where it's fine.
Let's talk about Dave real quick. She turned me on to Dave,
and now I'm backing her.
Where it's about Lil Dicky like coming to his
Dave
own
Bird.
Yeah, rapping and stuff like that. I thought Dave season 3 was pretty good. It almost was like season 2 didn't really do it for me, but this one was awesome. It follows him on tour, like trying to find love, and it's just got like really gross sexual references. Like he's got like a full
body condom
because he doesn't want to get STDs. To me, it's really funny, and without spoiling anything, Brad Pitt is in the finale, and he's got like a really long role in it. And Dave like subtly falls in love with Rachel McAdams from The Notebook. And it's just funny. But Dave season 3, I thought it was pretty good. I think if you like the first season, you'll like season 3 because it almost feels the same except on a grander scale. And then what else? Bupkis, the new Pete Davidson show, and it's supposed to be like loosely based on Pete Davidson's real life. Like he plays himself, but he's got like actors playing his uncles and his mom. Like Edie Falco plays his mom,
and Joe Pesci plays his uncle.
Yeah, it's funny. It's got some funny moments, but I just am so sick of Pete Davidson doing the whole poor me routine. Nice. Yeah. How's it going? The movie reviewer next door. Oh, Lord, the dog had a flashback. Yes, he did. And it's hilarious. And you know it's the dog flashback because it's just dog thoughts of him like attacking Pluto, who is Michael Berryman, which is amazing.
And Psycho 2 is your favorite of the series. Totally fair. And
yeah, I get that. I think I remember liking Psycho 3 the best, but I haven't seen it in too long. I can't venture a guess. But yeah, Bupkis. Pete Davidson is just like a little whiny bitch at this point to me. And I'm sorry if you're like a huge Pete Davidson fan out there. It's all about how he's tired of, paparazzi and the media, like spreading rumors about him and writing stories.
But he keeps doing these things to put him in that position himself.
Yeah, like it's almost like so self-deprecating that it's annoying. Like everything he does these days is like, oh, poor me. And it's like, yeah, poor fucking you, dude. Like, I get it, dude. Your dad died in 9/11. That is awful and tragic, but you're a really funny guy. Like, you're famous now. And for someone who didn't want to be famous, you sure ate your own words saying that by, like, dating Kim Kardashian, who is, like, one of the most famous women on the planet.
And that is the last time her name is ever mentioned on our YouTube.
Yeah. Anyway, the show's kind of funny, but it's almost so annoying to watch him being like, when? It's like, yeah, it must suck being like a millionaire.
If you have Apple TV Plus, was that what it was on?
I can't remember.
Peacock. It was on Peacock.
Oh, Peacock. Yeah. It's on Peacock now if you have Peacock.
I had a free trial of Apple TV Plus and already canceled it because I couldn't find anything worth watching.
But Edie Falco did a good job as his mom, playing his mom. And seeing Joe Pesci is nice. Someone you don't see him in much anymore.
Yeah. And if you know very little about Pete Davidson's background through the media, you might enjoy it. Yeah. Do it. But the more you know, it's just repetition at this point.
Yeah, it's like enough with just like being like, "Wah, poor me, dude." The show is kind of funny. Yeah, sorry. Pete Davidson's really been rubbing me the wrong way lately. What else did we watch?
The best
thing,
and I cannot believe I got him to watch it.
Oh yeah, I did not see any of the seasons of this show beforehand. I've been seeing the memes and clips of it for years, and I had no idea what it was from. My friend Jake, who has like a hat company, even made a sticker of one of the characters, and I'm like, I don't know what that's from. Now I do.
I think you should leave. Because season 3 was coming out, I went back and rewatched seasons 1 and 2. Not that it's necessary, and not even because I'm a completionist. I just wanted to trigger the memories. And then watch season 3 in like 1 or 2 sittings because the episodes are gloriously short.
It is so funny.
Bill watched all of it.
I watched all of them.
All 3 seasons in 2 days.
Yeah, and only 2 days because we started it late in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And it is so funny. It is so brain deadly stupid. I was just rolling laughing the whole time.
Quoting it to each other all week.
Yeah.
Nonstop. I'm just so happy
I didn't fucking do this.
I didn't fucking do shit.
It is so amazing.
All week. I'm just so happy to have him on this ride with me now. Because before I've just been
Dangerous
saying
Nights
it.
Crew.
I went out for wings with you one night. Boys.
Dude, it is. I highly recommend watching I Think You Should Leave, especially if you're in like a bad mood. Oh my God, it's so funny.
Even if you don't like sketch comedy, there's no context, which makes it even funnier somehow. You would think like that would make it harder to grasp. There's nothing to grasp.
Yeah.
Just enjoy.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, we were talking about it one day. We were like walking to work together, and even if like one of the sketches isn't your thing, they're so short. Like all the episodes are only like 18 minutes tops.
Yeah.
And like
take a pee break and come back.
Yeah, like the sketches are like 3 minutes like each. It's so easily digestible, hilarious. Cannot recommend I Think You Should Leave more. It's like, you sure about that? I've been seeing that for years. And
he was sending me the meme videos of it.
And I didn't even know what it was from. Sorry about my voice. It squeaked there.
You got excited.
My Canada Dry ain't doing it for me today. What else did we watch? Only a couple more. We watched the remake of White Men Can't Jump.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot, sorry to interject, but I forgot to give my score of Renfield. You know how I always do it out of 10. I give it a 7.8 out of 10, which is, like, high for me. I don't give movies super high scores unless they're, like, perfect. But 7.8 is super high for me. Couldn't recommend it enough. What'd you give it on Letterboxd?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry
about that.
I was so psyched. I would have given it a 5 out of 5, but I was like, girl, you're swimming in dopamine. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, sorry for that interjection. But we also watched the remake to White Men Can't Jump. What did you think of it?
What did I rate it?
What did you rate it? I myself am...
I gave it a 2.5 out of 5. I guess they tried.
What's the name of the rapper who's the main actor in it?
Shit. I forgot already.
Me too.
Because that was my first.
Something with Jack Harlow.
Yeah. God damn it.
Jack
I just
Harlow.
Brought it up.
But if you've seen the original White Man Can't Jump, it's kind of like a, early 90s masterpiece with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. Like, it is so funny and such a product of its time. Like, looking at all the clothes they're wearing and their shoes, like, and those two were just starting their careers. It was hilarious, perfect. I wanted to give this one a chance just because watching the trailer or whatever preview they had on Hulu, I was like, that looks, palatable. It was fine. I gave it a 5.9 out of 10, which is, it sounds awful. Like, it was watchable. But for me, what bothered me is they tried almost too hard to bring it into the now times. Whereas Jack Harlow is he had a bunch of ACL surgeries, but he still wants to be a pro basketball player, but he starts slinging his own protein shakes, and
he essentially is involved in pyramid schemes trying to make a buck.
kind of, and he's like teaching basketball lessons. But this other guy who also still wants to be a pro basketball player, could have been in college.
Sorry.
But just like had some trouble with like the law or something like that. They never fully disclose what happened.
Again, I don't remember because that was
3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
May 20th we watched that, so
I
out
don't
of my
know.
brain.
But Lance Reddick was the one actor's dad who dies in the movie. And they're just like kind of like, oh, your dad died? Fuck it. We won the championship. You're going to go pro. You're going to be on the Lakers. I don't know. Things happen too quickly in it for me. The humor is not that funny, and it's not as racy as like the original was. I don't know. I'd say avoid White Men Can't Jump. Just watch the original. And there's a lot of like Jack Harlow's music in it. And I made the joke to her.
There
like,
wasn't. It was.
There was a couple.
There was one.
One
At the very end.
But speaking
He's
of
exaggerating,
but speaking of the show Dave, I had to be like, is this Lil Dicky? Like, is this Dave?
and it never was.
It wasn't. It was Jack Harlow, and I didn't know that's what his music sounded like.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Not for me.
And the only other newer thing,
John Wick 4.
Yeah, we finally watched John Wick 4. I was like so amped to see it that I just like bought the digital version, even though I'll probably end up buying the damn Blu-ray when it comes out and stuff like that. John Wick 4 to me was an 8 out of 10, which if you like any of the John Wick movies, you will like this one. It's more of the same. He's still on the hunt to stop the, syndicate or whatever the hell it is that runs the assassins thing. And he just wants to stop it, wants to get out of, this life. But you're not a huge John Wick fan. What did you think of this one?
It's fine. I put it in the same realm.
Everything. It's fine.
It's fine. I put it in the same realm as part 3. I literally rated them exactly the same.
You really liked the one new character they have is like the dude with the dog. Who he like sticks the dog. He's like balls or whatever, like nuts. There's a lot of new characters in this that don't get a lot of plot or character development. There's this guy who she really liked. He's like this dude who has a dog who doesn't. They don't really say where he's from or anything like that. But he's also a fellow assassin.
Tracker.
There you go. But he doesn't get a lot of backstory.
And I like that.
See, she liked it. And, I kind of do, too, in the John Wick universe, because it's like, here's this huge hotel filled with assassins, and, like, you don't know how they got there. And
when they have to build up to backstory, the likelihood that you're actually going to like the backstory is very low.
That's true. And I guess you don't know too much about John Wick.
You don't need a long scream.
Yeah, no, monologue. You know what? The more I think about it, you're right. But there's a bunch of other characters, too. Like, the main villain is Bill Skarsgård, who you might remember as playing Pennywise in the new It. He's good as a villain, but he's just like a lot of talk. He's like, you gonna bark all day or are you gonna bite kind of guy? Like
it's too chatty.
He never shows his teeth. You know what I mean? Like he talks a big game, hires a lot of people to try and kill John Wick, and like that's it. When push comes to shove at the end, he, spoiler alert, he's like, oh, holds a gun over John Wick and he gets killed right away. As soon as he has a weapon and finally has an opportunity to be a real vicious villain, he gets killed. Who else was in it? There's a guy that Skarsgård hires to kill John Wick. He's the blind guy. He's like an Asian guy who's blind. You already don't remember?
It's vague.
He's such a huge part of the movie. She doesn't remember shit.
No, but also, it's John Wick is entirely your thing.
Yeah, I guess action movies in general.
I was also looking at my phone throughout, and anytime I'd hear shit popping off, I would look up.
But this blind guy, he doesn't get a huge amount of character development either, but he's sent to go kill John Wick. But it's like, this man is fucking blind, and he's like avoiding gunfire. He's kicking the shit out of John Wick. He's killing a bunch of people, and it's just like, you sure about that? At least in my opinion.
Maybe he was just that good.
Yeah, no, and that's what's cool is like, you're like, yeah, he's just that fucking badass, which I like. I wanted a little bit just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Trying to let yourself down.
Yeah. But if you like the John Wick movies, you'll fucking love John Wick 4. It's great. And I unfortunately like had like the very ending spoiled for me ahead of seeing it. Like totally unintentionally too. It was just like the title of an article.
He says that every time.
But it was the title of an article. I didn't even click it. One scene in particular that my buddy Corey was talking to me about it before I saw it. He's like, dude, it like goes overhead and you're seeing him kill a bunch of people like from overhead. And it takes place in like this old church, and it's amazing. You know, you're watching him kill a bunch of people in this church, and all of a sudden the camera starts to like pan above, almost like you're watching like the old like original Grand Theft Auto games while he's killing a bunch of people. It is amazing. And you know, you could say so many things about the CGI and all that. There's a lot of CGI, but like it's such good fun. It's Keanu Reeves kicking ass, and if you like the other ones, you will love John Wick 4. Anything else you watched that I maybe didn't? You watched a lot this week compared to I haven't watched shit. We've been watching like
the TV shows and
the TV
whatnot.
shows and rewatching like
NYPD
NYPD Blue. I don't know why.
We just do that.
Yeah.
We will typically focus on shows that we like to fall asleep to and don't care about missing any non-vital information. But over the week, I got back in my embroidery. I have a horror-themed embroidery thing that I do. And I haven't touched it in over a year, and I finally dove back into it. So keep an eye out for that. If you want to check it out, go to evilthread2, the number 2, at Instagram if you want to see any of it. But my new one should be done soon.
Cool.
In that time, I had time to watch movies because I'm sitting. So over the past few days, I watched Interview with the Vampire, which I've seen hundreds of times.
Not the show, like the old
yes, the movie. I
with
forgot
Brad
there
Pitt
was
and
a
Tom
show.
Cruise.
Yes,
and
I hadn't watched it in years, so I was like, screw it.
That movie's okay.
It's fine.
I'm always shocked whenever we put that on. I'm like, oh yeah, Christian Slater's in the beginning.
Yeah, and the end. That's
yeah,
it.
He's the interviewer.
Yes.
And like you almost forget it's
about an interview.
The movie is called Interview with the Vampire.
Meanwhile, Brad Pitt's narrating as the scene
every time
change.
every time we put it on, I'm like, oh yeah, that movie's okay. I don't need to revisit it anytime soon. It's fine. It's a little long for me.
Yeah.
Speaking of John Wick 4, it's too long. They could have cut a shitload out.
That's why I stared at my phone the whole time.
That's my only complaint. Yo, where's my short ass movie?
You sound like me.
Yeah.
The next movie I watched a couple days after that was Army of Darkness, because I've only seen it a couple of times. It's not my favorite of the Evil Dead movies.
Yeah, she does not really like Army of Darkness. I don't particularly love it either.
Horror comedy. There you
go. Horror
there
comedy. Bringing it back around, baby.
Yeah, it all comes back around. It's full circle now. Just not my favorite. It's fine. Like I enjoy it with each rewatch, but I just don't care to rewatch it that frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As an Evil Dead fan, Army of Darkness, I know everyone always is like, Army of Darkness is my favorite.
I don't need a backstory.
Yeah, Army of Darkness, it's fine for me. It's just never been a favorite. I'm not a big fan of like the medieval kind of stuff. In
the
movies.
Time you'll learn with us that we're not big fans of time centric.
Yeah, like period pieces.
Yes, that's not our thing.
Yeah, and like the movie's fine. That stuff never really resonates with me. But that's cool that she rewatched it, because I didn't even. She's just like, oh, I just watched Army of Darkness, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
out of character for you.
And that was the second whoa I got from you in 3 days.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, because you're all watching this stuff while I'm at work. I'm like, damn, I'm so jealous.
And I'm usually watching like trash TV, so he doesn't normally care. Like, oh, you watching that?
Yeah, she's watching like Housewives of like Atlanta.
I'm all caught up. So.
Or keeping up with that Vanderpump guy. Scenario.
Don't talk. Don't jinx this house.
I will.
I don't want to. But the next movie I watched same day as Army of Darkness was the new Blair Witch movie from 2016.
Yeah.
I had only seen it, I believe, once before. I probably paid as much attention to it this go round.
I don't really care for the Blair Witch movies at all.
No.
We watched that together once because it's directed by the guy who did The Guest.
Yeah, and I didn't need
Adam Wingard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And
Yeah.
I think I even pushed you to watch it
That's
first
why.
time because of that.
Yeah. And
wow, memory is resurfacing.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I remember that movie being like, I remember
fine.
when it was coming out in theaters, it was called like The Forest or like The Woods or something. And the day it premiered is when like there was the big reveal that like, psych, motherfucker, this is Blair Witch. It's a new Blair Witch movie. And even after that, like I think they thought people were going to be more excited than they were. Because even I was like, oh, a new Blair Witch movie. I don't give a shit. The original Blair Witch was scary to me
the first time
I watched it, like being scared in the dark at my house growing up. Like I remember me and my mom almost being like, it's so quiet and dark. But then like on rewatching it, you know what happens. You know there's nothing really going on and it's not that scary. Same thing went with that one. I was like, oh man, you could do a lot with the Blair Witch property, but that one doesn't really push the envelope at all. No. It's just more of the same.
Yeah, sorry, Adam Wingard.
Yeah, sorry. We love you, man. You've done some really good movies.
Well, I killed it on the 8th. I watched,
you watched
4
a lot
movies.
Of cool stuff.
I go through the streaming apps and just I'd be like, yeah, I could watch that right now and watch it. It's not like he puts so much thought and effort into deciding what to watch. I just will put it on, and if it gets me, it gets me. My embroidery can wait. I don't care. But the next movie I watched, so Army of Darkness and Blair Witch in the same day, and then I watched Cooties, which I've seen a couple of times before.
Elijah Wood, right?
Another horror comedy.
Yeah, and Dwight from The Office.
Yeah.
Cooties is great.
Yeah, it's a really fun movie.
A new movie that kind of snuck under the radar, which is like kind of cool that you just rewatched it. Because when we first watched it, I think just to continue on me randomly buying a movie, I think that's a movie that I randomly bought one day. And we watched it and we're like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
It's about a bunch of kids who like, they're like chicken nuggets at the local cafeteria get like,
it's like
a zombie virus put in it or something.
Cooties with steroids.
Cooties. Yeah, it's like cooties, like little kids, like, oh, that girl's got cooties.
Well, they literally all had cooties,
which turns them into zombies.
It's
a fun movie.
It's fun.
It's so
it's a
goofy.
Good time. Yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I just needed to pick me up after
watching Blair Witch.
Yeah, my ratings
nice,
just kept going
movie.
lower.
Then what else?
And then I watched Fear Street '94, so the first installment of Fear Street.
That
because I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any of them since they first premiered.
Yeah, those Fear Street movies. What were they on Netflix?
Yes, and
those were great.
I loved the first one so much. Yeah. I was so excited for the second one.
I'm only bummed that you rewatched it because I would love to.
Sorry, I mean I'll rewatch it again. I got time.
No, I know.
I gave it a 4 out of 5 because I enjoyed it that much. 4 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, those movies are cool. They kind of like play on all the tropes of classic slasher cinema.
Yeah, but
do it well.
Yeah, they do it well.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I never read the Fear Street what do you call that? Junior adult
books.
Yeah, the books, the old novels or whatever. I was always a Goosebump kid. I was never a Fear Street kid. I don't know.
Who did Fear Street? Wasn't it R.L. Stein?
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
I feel like you were always one or the other though. You're either Goosebumps or you were like Fear Street growing up. I was always a Goosebump kid, which ironically, my personality has completely shifted. I'd much more be a Fear Street kid these days because I'd rather watch people getting chopped up to bits in horror movies than watching the campy, goofy stuff, which like to me, Goosebumps is way more the campy, goofy stuff, and Fear Street, at least from what this movie portrayed, was like the more adult, darker stuff. I don't know.
I was always known at my Scholastic Book Fair growing up as Michelle Kwan Girl.
Michelle Kwan?
Yeah, because I would buy all the books on Michelle, amongst other things, but that's what the one lady working the Scholastic Book Fair liked to refer to me as for like a couple of years, by posters, everything. I don't know why.
How did you do that?
I didn't do fucking shit.
I didn't do fucking shit. See, we do this all day, like
all day.
Quoting that damn I Think You Should Leave show.
And
oh yeah.
South Park.
Do you remember that South Park episode where Clyde, I think his name is Clyde. Every now and then he just goes like that and like flips people off and like you don't see it coming.
Did you just flip me off?
Yeah, it's just hilarious.
We've been doing that on each other nonstop. So
I used to be a piece of shit, but I'm not anymore. People can change.
I just want that baby to know that people can change. Anyway, we're
we're rambling at this point, but that's everything that we've been watching lately. Have you guys been watching anything cool? Did you watch Renfield?
Yeah. Tell us about it.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Thank you, the movie reviewer next door, for chiming in about Hills Have Eyes 2, which is
Psycho 2.
So funny. And Psycho 2, yeah. That's amazing. Thank you. Most of you guys are probably gonna check this like after the fact. So sorry about the rambling and all that stuff. But
no surprise there if you know us.
Yeah. Funny story, we were like walking
7 miles.
Last week we walked like 7 miles for absolutely no fucking reason.
Because we could.
Yeah, it was nice, whatever. But we were walking to like ShopRite this morning to get some groceries, and we're like halfway there, and Vicky just looks at me and goes like this, and I'm like, what? She has dried ketchup on her arm
since work yesterday.
For 24 hours, just stuck on her arm.
Less than that.
But amazing. And I'm just like, ew, like, if you ever like get like, you know, like dried egg or something on your arm, don't you like feel it like crisp up on your arm?
I worked a brunch shift on a Saturday.
I just wanted to bring that up because it's hilarious to me.
If you guys, anyone watching this from outside of the metro area, the New York metro area, and are somehow unaware, bless your souls, of the smoke conditions with the wildfires, everyone acted like COVID was just lifted again.
Yeah, it was pretty busy outside yesterday.
It was busy again because everyone was kept inside for a couple days.
Yeah.
So Friday and Saturday was like back to normal again. The ketchup dried on my arm. I knew when it happened, but it was just starting to get busy at work.
But it was so funny.
And I realized it and went,
she's like, hey, look. And I'm like, what? Ew. It was just like a crispy caterpillar on her arm.
Of ketchup.
I was
like, well, I wash my hands multiple times a day. I don't wash
She's like, I don't just like stick my arm under the water.
So I did when we got home.
Sloppy steaks. Slop them up, boys.
I am the sloppy
But anyway,
steak.
I don't know. That's just funny to us. But thank you guys for watching. Anyone that tunes in after the fact, anyone who's tuned in now, who's watching, leave us a comment down below about any of the stuff that we talked about. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, I don't care. It's just nice to see like people be like, "Oh, hell yeah, I agree," or I hated that. I hated. Cool. I would love to hear that.
And you can follow me on Instagram at MoldyHan, or my embroidery page, Evil Thread 2, or Bill.
Oh yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. It's ShredNJ. I post a lot of like old like horror movie stuff and movie stuff that we have on there, and
with some skateboarding peppered in.
With a lot of skateboarding, hence the name. But I write a lot of like reviews in the Instagram stories. It's just easier for me to like put my thoughts on paper. Not on paper, but like to. God damn it! I'm sorry. But it's easier for me to articulate my feelings through words than it is to like sit in front of this and be like, that movie was good. This is why. Like,
that's how I am.
I am super bashful sitting in front of this camera right now. Like, and if you saw it, it is, I don't know. To me, it's unnerving. That's why I never like pursued acting. I like am bashful and I talk a lot and don't get my point across because it's hard for me. So follow me on Instagram if you want more concise reasons as to why I liked or disliked the movie.
I don't offer reviews on Instagram. My reviews are consistently, this is fine.
This is fine. But yeah, go through, watch some of our old videos. I really liked our video where we went to go see all the Amityville locations. So check that out. It's cool. It's cool to see that stuff now. I don't know. I don't know when we'll do another one. Next week we have like Father's Day coming up. But we'll do these as we have time. If anything, like we'll just do live stuff because to me it's funnier and it's easier and we can kind of like be like, oh, well, what did you think? Oh, babe, what did you think? You know, I don't know. We're dumb as hell. But we can, you know, we can spitball and go off on tangents about stuff that keeps the conversation flowing rather than standing and being like, oh shit, we didn't talk about that.
Hey, Mom.
Oh,
the
nice.
Wizard of the
Vicky's mom is in the comments. She loved the Redfield coverage. Thank you, Mama. Check it out. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it.
Yeah, if you have the cock. you
Favorite
should
parts have to
watch
be
it.
the Wizard of the Oz. Thanks for
And-
catching that.
and sketches.
Sketches. Yeah. Damn it.
We love you, Mom.
Yes. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, writing the stuff down is a lot easier than me bumbling like an idiot over my words talking about sketches and the Wizard of the Oz. I didn't do this. I used to be a piece of shit, but I'm not anymore. Anyway, love you guys so much. If you watch this, you're the best.
Yeah, bless your soul.
Like this video if you can. It helps the algorithm, helps the videos get put out there. Like our old videos.
Share it if you want.
Share it if you want to. Yeah, I know that's like kind of a lot. But comment. We love comments.
Yeah.
And yeah, check out our older stuff. We'll be back when we have the time. I love you all. I really mean it. Anyone that watches this stuff, it's like, you know, I know you have a lot of cool things that could be done. And if you're bored, check out this stuff. It's fun to talk about. And the chat, when the chat is going, it'll make it more lively. So, you know, the more people that know we're doing a live video, it'll be, you know, the chat will be going and we'll be like, oh shit, nice. We could talk about this. We could talk about that.
We announced it ahead of time properly. So thank y'all.
Yeah. We,
for joining in.
We'll give Ant more time, you know, whenever we realize we're going to do it. But I'm rambling again. But love you guys so much. Until next time, be well. Stay safe out there. Hopefully there's no like orange smog that kills us again this week.
Yeah, I don't know where that is anymore, but it's not here.
And I hope you're having a lovely start to the warmer weather out there. Hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up on YouTube.
Tell us what movies you're watching or going to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Tell us if there's anything you want us to cover.
Yeah, or
I
if
would
there's
love
something
that.
you saw that we haven't even mentioned and you want us to see.
Yeah. And until next time, adios, my friends.
Bye.
Let me see if I click end at the right time. I didn't do this! I used to be a piece of shit, but I'm not anymore. God damn it. Watch, I think you should leave. That's the highest recommend of all this shit we've been talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, guys.